rock and roll time here in the MPJ Towers, basement, whatever. Welcome to the show. Welcome to my amazing panel, to Paul, to Trish, and to Andy, and the absent Chris. We are bringing you the latest rock album releases, and today's offering is the Linda Lindas and No Obligation. We're going to tell you what we've thought about the album, rate them out of 5. Will it get into our Hall of Fame? Will it get an average of 4, get into our Hall of Fame? We've reviewed 460 albums, and this year, somewhere about 140. This is the last album that we are reviewing before we then move on next month to our album of the year, where we will be counting down our top 20 favourite albums. So you need to be in the Hall of Fame to even get a chance. 10 our top 10 and then our wildcard picks. So what do we think of Linda Lindas? Andy, we're going to start with you, and please, there's no obligation here, but I would like you to say something about the album, No Obligation.
Do I have to? Well, I can't. I don't have to because I'm under no obligation to.
You're not.
Well, when I first started listening to this, I thought, "Oh, I'm not going to like this." But the more I did, the more I did. And do you know how young these kids are? They're like young teenagers. They're like really, really young. Yeah, and they're. Yeah.
He's upset by that. Damn them!
Isn't it? I was like, oh, they're really young. They're literally like teenagers, but they've got tons of energy, and it's really punky, perky. Great load of energy through for it. I really like the song "All in My Head." That was just banging for me, and I thought that it was a very, very good. And they're that young, they did say I get better and better. Apparently, this year is the year of Brat. Yeah, apparently, if you look at it, it's the year of Brat, and these kids are probably whatever the young kids these days call Brat. So they're obviously on point, and let's hear some more of them.
Right, let's go to the biggest brat of them all. It's Trish. Trish.
Thanks. Oh, I've been called many things in my time, but hey ho. Okay, the Linda Lindas. Me, on listening to this album musically, their sound is a cross between Shooting Daggers and the Hot Damn. I quite like the sound of the Linda Lindas because it's upbeat but in a more heavier way with the guitars. I really enjoyed tracks Yomi Estresso and Carto Ruffers. I can't even read that. Harmonies of the vocals all well worked together. Solid album offering from this band to engage new followers, sure.
Paul,
and also that song has Weird Al Yankovic on it, the one you mentioned. So that's got to be worth something.
It does, doesn't it? Paul, Linda Lindas.
I'm not sure what happens to the Linda Lindas with this album, No Obligation. They come out swinging with quite an angry punk rock song of the title album's name. After that, it sounds as if they've been kicked in the crutch and the wind taken out of their sails. The remainder of the album is fun and funky and easy listening power pop. Think I like the incarnation of Blink 52. Lyrics are truly aimed at the younger generation. It's toe tapping stuff and would definitely help the person of a long drive or having a nice tempo for walking. But the beginning song just doesn't set up you for the whole album, which was a surprise.
Did you enjoy it though?
I told you it was toe tapping stuff.
Toe tapping stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't something I could get my teeth into, but
right.
I did enjoy.
So the Linda Lindas, the bad news is it's obviously my mum's name was Linda, and so that brought back oh god no, that's a terrible name for a band for me. But pop punk, yeah, I agree with Paul. They came in swinging, and then became I don't know, Girls Aloud on pop rock. Really, it's what it felt like. They've come in, yeah, absolutely I don't know. I have a lot of problems with the album. but I also kind of enjoyed it as well. There were some good tracks in there. All in My Head, Lose Yourself were excellent, and kind of up there. But it was all a bit of a mishmash, really, in terms of of where they were going. Are you pop punk? And that maybe not necessarily a bad thing, but I was just getting mixed messages from it. Are you? What are you in terms of a band, etc. as well? You're trying to hit quite a few genres in there as well without actually having identified. But they're very young, as Paul said. If you want to know more about them, what I've done is I've put some text below next to the like and subscribe button, so you can read more about the Linders and hit the like and subscribe button while you're out there. So it was a good album, and I think this band has got a huge amount of potential. Incredibly well performed, incredibly well sung. Just a little bit of a mishmash, which sometimes I liked, sometimes I didn't. So you kind of get that as an overall album, but good, but solid. Okay, solid enough to get into a Hall of Fame, I wonder. Let's find out, shall we? Andy, what did you give it?
I gave it an extremely solid 4.
Ooh, Paul, what did you give it?
I give it a 4 as well.
Oh, Trish, what did you give it?
I gave it a 3.5.
Do you know what, Trish? So did I. If Cully absolutely loves this album, if Cully gives this like a 5, it gets into a Hall of Fame. Well, obviously he didn't. And Cully decides he's just gone off the edge of a cliff because he really didn't like this album at all. A 2.5. Well, when I say didn't like it, he felt it was obviously distinctly average for him. It's just too young, obviously, for him. By maybe, I don't know. But then
the band of teenagers is too young for him.
He's either he's too young to get what video is, or too old to get the Linders. Who knows? He gave it 2.5. They scored 7.5. They scored a very solid 3.5. Which is pretty damn solid. So they'll be back for. We'll be definitely reviewing their next album. Unfortunately, it doesn't get to a Hall of Fame. But thank you very much to everybody. Andy, you're making a welcome addition to the to the podcast. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to take this opportunity to say certainly to Paul and to Trish, thank you ever so much for the year. Thank you for all of your amazing effort that you put in to get us to this point, and all the albums reviewed and the commitment you've shown. I love you all both. Thank you, same to Chris, who's been here pretty much most of the year, but he had an emergency he had to go to this morning. But it doesn't stop the excitement. Please tune in next month for our top 20 album review show, where the whole gang will be coming together. Of those that are available anyway. Thank you very much to my wonderful panel, to Andy, to Paul, and to Trish. Keep on rocking. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and tune in next month for our wicked album of the year show. Goodbye for now. Keep rocking.
Bye.